Welcome back. You're watching The Pulse. We start with an illegal mining. Our Joy News investigations have uncovered a secret illegal mining enclave deep within the Amiansto East Forest Reserve, with over 30 excavators destroying the natural resource. It's not clear who owns the huge illegal mining enclave, but locals in the area say the place has become a no-go area, even for farmers. The mining site is manned by military personnel and persons parading as national security operatives. Erastus Asari Donko has been providing details.
If you look at when we flew our drones, if you look at the enclave, you see mining spots within the forest area. And so it tells you that definitely this is not the first time. But we have been following up on this mining activity within the Amiansto East. In fact, it is off reserve, but is at the tail end of the Amiansto East Forest Reserve, and it's in the town of Diaso in the western region. Now, we have been monitoring them for some time now. They have military personnel protecting them. They have mounted a barrier manned by fully clothed military men and some people wielding a number of weapons, parading as national security operatives. And if you look at the scale of destruction, this mining has been going on for months within that particular enclave. We have submitted these footages to the necessary authorities who should know. And we were expecting that something would have been done by now, but we have not heard anything from them. And that is why we are also putting out this information. So yes, it's a secret mining, illegal mining enclave. I say illegal because we have checked. It's totally unregistered. The people operating in that enclave do not have any license whatsoever to be mining there, but already they've dug pits close to about 15 football fields combined.
Oh.
And that is why we are drawing the attention of the government to it. We work on complaints from communities. We have well-meaning Ghanaians who walk to, some of them travel very far to our newsroom in Kumasi to complain, to ask that we should come to their aid. And we have such people who are saying that sometimes you get searched physically before you are even allowed to go through the barrier or go through that particular area to your own farm. And all because somebody is mining illegally within the enclave.
Meanwhile, the National Coalition Against Illegal Mining is issuing a final warning to the government to revoke Legislative Instrument 262462 or risk enabling legal mining in forest reserves. The LI automatically comes into force today unless it is withdrawn. Recall President John Mahama had promised in his 120-day address to scrap the entire Minerals Act when Parliament resumed. But the coalition says checks in the House show no such motion has been filed. Convener Dr. Kenneth Ashigbe, addressing journalists at the International Press Center, insists the president, backed by a parliamentary majority, still has the power to stop the law.
The government must fulfill the promise to revoke LI 2462. The government made a solemn vow to the people of Ghana that LI 2462, the legal instrument that opened our forest reserves to mining, will be revoked, not amended, but scrapped entirely. This was communicated through several public declarations by His Excellency the President himself before and after the 2024 elections, echoed by government officials, including the Minister of State for Government Communications, the Minister of Communications, and the CEO of the Gold Board on the 23rd of April 2025. In fact, as recently as 8th of May 2025, Professor Jerry S. Waikuma, Special Advisor to the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, equivocably stated, and I quote, "The President had listened to the concerns of the citizenry and the CSOs and has directed that the LI be revoked in its entirety." We are therefore disappointed that although the promise was made that the process to revoke LI would begin immediately Parliament resumes. However, to the best of our knowledge and belief, which was confirmed yesterday when members of the coalition met the chairperson of the subsidiary legislating committee, that there's no order of business of Parliament capturing this critical item. In our considered view, this demonstrates a lack of commitment by the government to carry out the revocation through. And it's a clear indication that the government is deliberately playing games with the citizens on this matter. Our demand for revocation of LI 2462 still stands to safeguard Ghana's forest and ecosystem services they provide for generations to come. We will not accept an amendment that responds to the interests of certain individuals, not taking into account the interests of the nation. The LI 2462 must be revoked, and it's with urgency. If the president does not act, the environmental protection into bracket minerals in forest reserve, mining in forest reserves amendment regulation 2025 will mature and come into effect today. As a people, our only recourse will be to continue our court case. This will be unfortunate at a time when Ghanaians expect a true reset in governance. The executive must not sit aloof while citizens are left to their fate to fight for the future of the very country we entrusted into the hands of His Excellency the President. So our resolve to the President is that it is true that today the 21 days would crystallize. But His Excellency, with the majority that he has in Parliament, would still be able to cause the two-thirds majority to cause a revocation of that particular LI.
Well, Collins Frimpong was at the press conference and joins me in studio. Now, Collins, you've been following the story keenly, and especially that briefing today. I understand that they talked about many things, including Dr. Hannah Bissue. What have they been saying? Let's start from there.
Right. So, on 5th of June this month, Dr. Hannah Bissue, who is the administrator for the Minerals Commission, and her team visited a constituency in the Ashanti region, where I also come from. That's the Achman-Punwa. And one of the communities that they went to was the Akonfe community. And they uncovered, according to the information and also what we saw during news sources, they uncovered a whole forest where there was a filling station in that particular forest. And they arrested about 46 people, in which 24 of them were Chinese nationals and the remaining ones were Ghanaians. But on their way to that particular area, they encountered a lot of challenges, including the police, the personnel in that particular district or constituency prevented them from accessing the forest and also the community. And they were attacked as a result of that. And when they came back, there hasn't been any information on that. The coalition against Galamsey is urging President Mahama to conduct a full-scale investigations into that, because a whole minerals commission who are fighting illegal mining can't go into a forest and nothing will be done about it. And also they are urging government to provide resources to all the agencies that are fighting against illegal mining, including drones.
I mean, of course, you want to tell us where we can see that. You've got a video of that,
right,
yes.
Right?
We commend the IGP and his team for stepping up efforts to combat illegal mining. It is, however, clear that the enforcement and compliance regime has cracks and needs to be fixed. The Akonfe confrontation, where the police allegedly shielded Chinese nationals engaged in Galamsey, is not only a demonstration of the complicity of some of the law enforcement agents in perpetuating this illegality, but also a disgrace to the entire national security apparatus that seems to favor foreigners caught in committing heinous crimes, particularly Galamsey. It is against this backdrop that we demand an immediate and transparent investigation, with all complicit officers from the district to regional command interdicted and prosecuted. We also demand public disclosure of all police transfers from Galamsey zones as promised by the Minister for Interior and the IGP. The seeming lapse in our law enforcement regime when it comes to Galamsey are not to say that our intelligence and preparedness to deal with armed incursions are weak. We are strong and we can do it if we want to do it. There are no justifications why illegal miners get away with all the atrocities they are committing across our country, displacing farmers, destroying rivers, and attacking public officers, both civilians and law enforcement agencies alike. The government must stop the kid gloves approach and act decisively. We have heard the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources tell us that this is terrorism. We've heard the IGP tell us that we are at war. If you have terrorists and you're at war with them, you don't deal with them like the way we are doing. 3, protect Forestry Commission staff. Another matter of grave concern is the increasing violent attacks on Forestry Commission officers. The brazen day-like attacks on these officers, even off duty, are a national embarrassment. There's an urgent need to guarantee the safety of Forestry Commission officers, men and women who risk their lives daily to protect our forest. If, as the CEO of Gold Board declared, mining in the forest reserves is haram to this government, then government must prove it. Repeal LI 2462. Arm our officers. The Forestry Commission should be giving enough firepower, more than what these mercenaries that have been brought in to provide security for these illegal miners have. Deal ruthlessly with apprehended officers and end the impunity. Number 4, we demand a state of emergency in the required areas now. And again, this is state of emergency in the required areas. We are not saying state of emergency in the entire country. If you read the Constitution, it talks about declaration of state of emergency in parts of the country, and that's what we're talking about. The recent near-fatal attack on Dr. Hannah Louisa Bisu, following an illegal mining raid at Bui Sobenso, as reported widely in the media on June 5th, 2025, by armed thugs, is not an isolated incident. It is a symptom of the lawless epidemic within the mining zones. Gun-wielding gangs now operate with terrifying boldness. And if this government does not act decisively, no one is safe. This justifies our long-standing demand for a state of emergency in critical mining zones, enforced by military presence, drone surveillance, asset freezes, to propose just a few strategies. Illegal mining areas, in our estimation, appear to be a training ground for mercenaries that threaten the national security and stability of our democracy. So a state of emergency would empower the security forces to nip this emerging national security threat in the bud. If this is not done urgently, the repercussions will be dire. Anything could have happened to Dr. Hannah Bisu, the journalists who were there that day. And to think, as to quote her, that machination was perpetuated by the police command, we ask that police commander be interdicted and investigated and punished. And when these punishments are done, the police should not just hide them under their police. They should let everybody know, so that the police would know that if they do wrong, they also would be punished.
Also, Collins, beyond this, they've also been talking about persecution of the political class.
Yes. So, recently Yoko picked up the chairman for the NPP in the Ashanti region, Chairman Wuntumi, over his involvement in illegal mining. And they commended the government for such action that they've taken. But according to the Coalition Against Illegal Mining, they have also identified that Akonta Mining has 2 directors. And these people, they are heavily involved in illegal mining. So they want them to they want investigation to be extended to them so that the governments can know what really is happening and also prosecute them. Apart from that, early this year, NP for our win constituency, there were a lot of allegations about his involvement in illegal mining activities in Aowin, to the point that the traditional council in that particular area came out and also barred him from coming there. And Coalition Against Illegal Mining wrote a petition to the Speaker of Parliament as well as President John Dramani Mahama. And according to them, President John Mahama acknowledged the petition, but nothing has been done yet. They want President to resume investigations. For that matter, they want NIB to start the investigation right now and also make sure that anybody, or even if he is found guilty, must be prosecuted. They also talked about other political party figures that are also involved, especially those that are in the NDC, that they talked about Axim constituency, where the chairman for the NDC is also involved in illegal mining. Let's listen to what he said.
Number 5, prosecute politically exposed persons engaged in illegal mining. We commend our plea and are pleased with government's move to arrest the director of Akonta Mining Limited, Mr. Bernard Enchibu-Esako, after the coalition's press release, which you, the media, published widely. It is crucial to complete this process by arresting and prosecuting all directors of Akonta Mining Limited. When the media coalition against Galamsey did the check, there are 2 directors of that company. They are the same beneficial owners as well. So those 2 directors should not only be arrested, but prosecution should happen. We have, however, observed and condemned resoundingly the alarming pattern of some officials from the ruling NDC being involved in illegal mining. After the unresolved case of Honorable Oscar Labi, MP for Aowin, we have a petition with His Excellency the President that he has acknowledged receipt of. New reports implicate the NDC constituency chairpersons in Axim and Dunkwao of being deeply involved in Galamsey operations. This hypocrisy is unacceptable. While the NDC leadership under His Excellency the President publicly condemn illegal mining, the Honorable Minister of Lands and Natural Resources and IGP have demonstrated positive actions to deal with the scourge of Galamsey. However, some of their local officials allegedly profit from it. We demand, 1, that immediate investigations into the case of Honorable Oscar Labi, MP for Aowin, and the chiefs that have accused him, that he has counter-accused. And these 2 chairpersons of Axim, constituency chairpersons of Axim and Dunkwao, by the police and national security, ensuring complete transparency and no room for political protection. 2, public disciplinary action by the NDC if any of these allegations are proven.
Well, Collins, that's a tall list of demands. However, the very popular Professor Frimpone's report, some sort actually featured in this press briefing, right?
Yes, you know, we can talk about fighting illegal mining without talking about that particular report, which Professor himself stepped down from his position. And the Coalition Against Illegal Mining says that President Mahama should look into the report because it is one of the main tools during his campaign ahead of the 2024 elections. He talked about that when he comes to power, he's going to make sure that all the people that are implicated in that particular report are prosecuted, and they want that to happen. Let's listen to him.
Investigations of all mentioned in the Professor Frimpong Boateng report. There are a lot of politically exposed persons that have been mentioned in that report, and that should be looked into. And finally, transparent prosecution with no political protection. We've heard the president say that he will not cover anybody. We've heard the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources say that there would be no, what do they normally call it, order from above, so far as this is concerned. We need to see that translated into action. We have given the names of 3 of those who are in the ruling government. We also have the directors of Akonta Mining Limited, one of whom was with the former government, and we have a plethora of a lot of them in the Frimpong Boateng report who have all been implicated. You have the examples of Heritage Imperial who were giving either a prospecting lease, and they went into one of the forest reserves with over 30 excavators. That case is also available. So that you, the media, have a lot of named officials who have been implicated in Galamsey, and a lot of them are politically exposed. And if you remember, in October last year at Kempinski, His Excellency the President stated that to deal with Galamsey is not the young boys who we find in the pit, but it is the kingpins. So our call to His Excellency the President is, as he's done with some of the promises he gave, he should also deal with the politically exposed persons, the kingpins who are involved in Galamsey.
You're still watching The Pulse. Now, joining me on phone is Coordinator of Eco-Conscious Citizens, Aula Sewa. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. So, with all of these demands from the coalition, and including yourself personally, does it look like the government is listening anyway, especially because today the full-fledged LI will take force? Does it look like the government is listening?
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for having me. You know, from where we are sitting, it's very, very disappointing that LI 2462, which was a low-hanging fruit, was Parliament, was an amendment rather than a revocation. It should have been so easy for the current administration to repeal LI 2462 and get some goodwill. So, Honorable Sami Jamfi had said that as soon as Parliament resumes, LI 2462 will be revoked. That has not happened. So if it doesn't give a lot of, shall I say, credibility. So we are hoping that the president will live up to his promises that he made in the run-up to the elections and ensure that LI 2462 is revoked. That is a low-hanging fruit. Then the other demands that my brother Ken has, you know, I don't have to go, but then my brother Ken has done a fantastic job. They have to be met. We need a targeted state of emergency. We need a pause in community mining. I've already talked about the repeal of LI 2462. And we need everybody mentioned in Professor Frimpong Boateng's report to be investigated, prosecuted, and if found guilty, their assets sold and used towards the cost of reclamation. Because we need to go by the principle of the polluter pays. You cannot pollute our environment and just walk away.
Well, I've seen that you, again, including the coalition, even before today, you have made calls. Apart from you citing Sami Jamfi speaking that when Parliament resumes, they are going to repeal that LI, have you seen other relevant stakeholders beyond their CSOs making an effort to at least push the government, put pressure on the government, really, to repeal this LI, and the many other requests from you?
Well, I know that, for example, the Academy of Arts and Sciences have added their voice, and others have added their voice. So it's quite clear. It's quite clear that the majority of Ghanaians don't understand why we want to have mining in forest reserves, and that under the old guidelines, for example, you could only mine up to 2% in the production forest reserves. With the LI 2462, that caveat has been removed, and there's virtually unlimited access to our forest reserves. There's a reason why we call them forest reserves. So others have added their voice, and I'm sure the president, if is a listening government, they will listen and revoke LI 2460. It's a low-hanging fruit. And let me add at this point that we face an existential threat. We cannot afford to be dilly-dallying, and that's why we must declare a state of emergency. Because Ghana is fast thinking to lawless state, and the environmental terrorists, if we don't set in a state of emergency, will begin to control parts of Ghana, as happens in Latin American countries. Look at what recently happened to the sub-chief, I've forgotten the area, who was almost killed because he tried to stop illegal mining. We need to sit up. We need to sit up and act quickly before the window of opportunity closes.
What kind of state of emergency are you asking for? An entire state of emergency or targeted?
No, a targeted state of emergency. So we are targeting hotspots where we know the illegal miners are, some of the forest reserves, you know, the water bodies, where we know the illegal the illegal miners, I would just go to those specific areas, get rid of the illegal. When I say get rid of them, I don't mean shoot to kill. I mean you remove them and you remove their equipment. And those in the water bodies, the Ankambra River has been diverted. What is happening? Other rivers have been diverted. Water is life. And if we keep on not taking the bull by its horns, by the time we decide to act, it will be too late. It will all be poisoned.
Let's talk about how the government...
I can't say as robustly as I'm saying it now. We face an existential threat. Our water is being poisoned. And even when the water looks transparent, it doesn't mean it doesn't have mercury or cyanide because it doesn't have a color. So we really need to act. They are terrorists because even in wartime, when you poison water, it's an act of war. So we want a targeted state of emergency specific to the areas that have been taken over by the illegal miners.
Right. Ola, let's talk about what the government is doing currently, at least to fight beyond the request that it should repeal LI 2462. So quite recently, the government has rolled out a plan and says that in terms of excavators or machinery that would the people use for mining, it will be prohibited. If you have the permit, then you can import it. What do you make of this rollout by the government?
You see, I don't understand why we don't put a pause on bringing in excavators because we know what we are like. We can't enforce anything. So what I would suggest, with the greatest respect, is that we pause the importation of excavators. Excavators have very limited use. We have sufficient excavators in the country that those who need it for construction can hire them. But what happens most of the time is that the excavators will find their way to our factories. We know that. We know that. Even the measures we are bringing in, can we enforce them? No. So I would say just stop the importation of excavators. Anybody who needs one can lease the existing ones in the country. That to me would be the simplest course of action.
So if the government really doesn't heed to the call as CSOs and for people like you, how much pressure can you give to the government to insist on this?
You see, at the end of the day, Ghanaians are being poisoned. Some people mistakenly think that, it's only affecting the illegal mining belt. Actually, it isn't. First of all, the water you drink, you don't know where exactly it's coming from. And as I said, Ghana water doesn't remove the mercury or cyanide if it's present. Also, the foodstuff, whether it's yam or plantain, do you know where it's coming from? Your consumer. So we face an existential threat. As the waters are poisoned, your fish is being poisoned, your farmlands are being poisoned. So if Ghanaians are not angry enough, if Ghanaians are not angry enough at being poisoned, to say that if you won't take drastic action, we'll hit the streets or we'll lay down our tools, then I'm afraid we'll all just sit there and be poisoned. I was speaking to a doctor in the illegal mining belt. He was saying that a while ago, people coming to him with kidney problems were way past their 40s, 50s. Now you have teenagers. So if you don't understand the danger in which we are in, added to that, there are also national security threats because, some areas will soon become no-go areas and be controlled by the environmental terrorists. If Ghanaians are not angry enough at the fact that soon our cocoa will not be accepted, we'll be told it's poison. Already we've heard about palm oil plantations being destroyed, farmlands being destroyed, cocoa farms being destroyed. If Ghanaians are not angry enough, then so be it. Ghanaians need to be angry enough, and government is about numbers. When they find out that Ghanaians are angry and being poisoned, trust me, they'll take the steps they need to take.
Thank you so much, Ola Sawa, for talking to us. She's Coordinator, Eco-Conscious Citizens. Thank you for joining us today on The Pulse. Now, away from illegal mining, this afternoon, some minority members of Parliament have reportedly held a closed-door meeting with 2024 NPP flag bearer Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia to pledge their support for his potential bid to lead the party again in the 2028 general elections. The meeting, which ended a while ago at Dr. Bawumia's campaign office, has drawn several minority MPs who have gathered to express their confidence in his leadership and vision for Ghana. This meeting comes just days after the party announced January 2026 as the date for electing its 2028 flag bearer. My colleague Kenneth Jesse is just returning from the meeting. But before we engage Kenneth, who's just joining me in studio, please take a listen. Kenneth just joined me in studio. Kenneth, I know we have just shown the footage, but of course, still run us through the MPs that were present over there.
Well, some notable names is the former Works and Housing Minister, Kwadwo Nkrumah. Also, another former Works and Housing Minister, Asenso Boakye, is also the MP.
Okay, something about the Works and Housing
sector. Bantama constituency. We also had former Lands and Natural Resources Minister Samuel Abujinapo. There, we also had former Deputy Education Minister Intim Fodjo, who's also there, and former Deputy Transport Minister Hassan Tampoli was there as well. Former boss of the NLA, Samia Uku, was there. Former assistant to Baumia, Dr. Tia Mahama, was there as well. So quite a number of MPs, both new and then returning MPs, were all there in your numbers. But right after the closed-door meeting, I spoke to the former Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. I asked him what the purpose of the meeting was. He said that so far he's had more than 60 out of the 88 MPs on the minority side in Parliament throwing their support openly, declaring their support for him, that they believe he's the right person to lead the party into victory come 2028. We can take a listen.
You've had a closed-door meeting with some MPs from your party. What was the conversation about?
Well, thank you very much. This morning, I've had a visit from our members of Parliament. I think that it was a very happy visit. It was a courtesy call, and it's a call to declare support for me. And I am so happy in terms of the group that have declared support for me from Parliament. Now amounts to just over 60 members of Parliament. And you know we have 88 members of Parliament. And so that tells you that a very significant number of members of Parliament have declared their support for me. I just want to use this opportunity to thank all of them. The leader of the group here is Amprachum, who coordinated this, the MP for Mampong. And I believe that this is going to be very, very important because the members of Parliament, as you know, control the constituencies to a large extent. And I'm very, very happy for exactly what they have done today. It's a strong show of support, and I thank them and I thank God for this strong show of support. And off we go. There's a lot of hard work to be done so that we can help the party and help the country. And I want to thank all of you for being here. Thank you very, very much.
Right, Kenneth, 60 out of 80, that's a very huge number. Yes, this would mean they would have to chase those who didn't win their seats in Parliament currently to add up to the numbers. But one person that fascinates me is a former Deputy Minister for Education. Why? Because of who he deputizes, who has also expressed interest. What is he even saying?
Exactly. That's quite shocking as well, as you've mentioned, because his former boss has also declared his intention to also run for the seat of the NPP flag bearership. But the former deputy minister, he's been talking about the fact that he believes that the only candidate, as it stands now, that can lead the New Patriotic Party to victory come 2028 is the party's 2024 flag bearer, Mahmoud Bawumia. I spoke to him. We can listen to him as well.
So a group of us, members of parliament, over 60 of us, decided that we would have to come and pay a courtesy call on Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and to indicate our support for him. As a matter of fact, there are a number of other members of parliament who, some are out of jurisdiction, some are also indisposed, some also have some prior commitment for which they didn't join us. But the number overall would have been much more than the over 60 that you saw today. As they were entering, you saw them and you captured them. This goes to indicate the overwhelming majority support in the base who have expressed confidence in renewing the mandate of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to lead the party into the 2028 election. And I think that this decision is very sound. It is sound and it's consistent with the voter behavior of the Ghanaian. Looking up from our fourth Republican democracy, all the presidents that have held, who have become presidents, have had to go through elections 2 times, 3 times, even in the case of President Mahama 4 times. And so you had President J. Kufuor going in 96. It didn't work out. The party renewed the mandate for him because it fed into the voter behavior of Ghana. He won in 2000 subsequently. When President Mills contested in 2000, he lost. He contested again in 2004, he lost. He only won on the 3rd attempt in 2008. And same for President Akufo-Addo. When he attempted the first time in 2008, he lost. He tried again, it didn't work out. It was the 3rd attempt that worked out for him. Even President Mahama, the first time, was an outlier because there was that, overwhelming sympathy. The whole country was mourning. His Excellency President Atta Mills had not been able to serve his full term, and that was just sympathetic that they allowed the vice president to continue. So that was a different case. But when he even had the opportunity to contest really his first election as a sitting member of parliament, we had never seen that before. But he lost. He went again the second time, and then he lost again until he came back, and that was actually the 4th time he had contested before he won. So the Ghanaian population votes this way, that they want to see you on the ballot, on the presidential ballot, particularly if you are contesting for any of the major parties, NDC, MPP. They want to vote for a candidate who is experienced, a candidate who has sympathy, a candidate who has tried before. So going into 2028 elections, when President Mahama is going to serve his 2nd term, and definitely NDC is going to field a new candidate, it is going to be a big advantage if MPP
You're watching The Pulse, and we shall bring you that continuation of the story that we had started on the former Vice President. But currently, I'm taking you live to Parliament, where Bosman Asari, who speaks for the EC, is addressing Parliament on Ablekuma North constituency issues.
The presidential and parliamentary ballots for the Western region and the parliamentary ballots for the Eastern region, there should be a reprinting of the presidential and parliamentary ballot papers for the Eastern and Western regions. During the IPAC meeting, the EC and IPAC members agreed that the reprinting should be done by the following printing houses: Indolink, Back Press, and Arts Commercials Limited. After the meeting with the political parties, the EC held a press conference where Ghanaians were informed about the reprinting. On Monday, 2nd December 2024, the Commission wrote to the Central Tender Review Committee, the printing houses who have been selected at the IPAC meeting. The Commission eventually informed the printers to begin the printing on the 2nd of December 2024. In view of the pending elections, the Commission proceeded to reprint that ballot for the Western and Eastern regions in the absence of a formal approval from the CTRC. If the Commission had not done that, there will be no elections in the presidential and parliamentary elections for the Eastern and the Western regions. On 24th December, the Central Tender Review Committee granted formal approval to the Commission's request on 2nd December 2024 for the reprinting of the ballots for the said regions due to a reported incidence of leakage of ballot paper. It is instructive to note that the CTRC in their response referred to the letter the Commission sent on the 2nd of December 2024. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Honorable Member, any supplementary question?
Indeed, yes, Mr. Chairman. Now, we have just informed this House that you ordered for the printing of the ballot papers that you referenced without receiving pro-approval from the PPA. And that amounted to breach of law, the procurement breach of the law, or breach of the procurement law. You agree with me? The question is that he agrees with me that that conduct amounts to a breach of the Procurement Act.
Well. Honorable members, please allow me to handle the House. I don't want this interjection.
You want to answer the question for him? Mr. Chairman.
Have you finished the question?
Oh, hold on. Mr. Chairman, please save me from my brothers. When I asked that the chairperson herself be here, they said no. He's capable of answering. Now he's answering, you are worried. He's answering the question, you are worried.
Honorable Dafiama, are you done with the question?
Yes, I've asked the question.
Honorable Deputy Chairman, did you hear the question?
Yes, I heard the question.
Then you can go ahead to answer the question.
There was no breach of the procurement law. There was no breach. The commission wrote to the CTRC on 2nd December, and the elections were supposed to take place on 7th December. In the response by the CTRC, they indicated that we wrote to them on the 2nd of December. And before we printed the ballots, we wrote to the CTRC. So CTRC knew all the printing houses and the specific regions they were printing. So we didn't go to PPA. So it was only appropriate that when we had to redraw ballots for the eastern and central regions, we had to go back to the same organization that permitted us to engage these printing houses. So as far as we are concerned, there was no breach of the procurement law. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Very well. Honorable members. Yes. Honorable Nelson.
Please. You just told this House that but for ordering that printing of the ballots be done with prior to seeking approval, you would have been behind time. You just said that.
Is that the question?
Yes, that's the question.
Yes. Deputy Commissioner, you may respond to him.
Yes. We said we had the problem came on the Friday, which was 29th November. Then we met with our parties on Sunday, which was 1st December. And in that meeting, the EC together with the parties identified 3 printers who will be able to do the work within the time available. So, Honorable, if you remember, Mr. Chairman, we had to reschedule the special voting for these 2 regions. So whilst all the other 14 regions were having the special voting, we had to reschedule the one for this particular 2 regions. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
If we do a yes or no answer, it will help. Now, please. Now, who was Honorable Deputy Commissioner? if I may have your attention. Now, which entity was in charge of the distribution of the ballot paper that you claim leaked, as a result of which you had to print a new one?
Yes, Honorable Deputy Commissioner.
Which entity was in charge of the distribution? The distribution was done before. No, the distribution historically has been done by the EC together with the Ghana Police Service. And when we are distributing to, the political parties are involved. So it's not done by only the EC. The EC is the lead person, lead institution, but the Ghana Police Service, the political parties also have to represent.
Don't misunderstand my question. I am asking you whose responsibility, official duty it is to distribute the ballot papers. Ballot papers which leaked, as a result of which you have to reprint. That's my question.
In terms of responsibility in this, is the Electoral Commission.
Thank you. That's all I need.
Well. Honorable Dafema, but we ask 3 supplementary questions.
Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, please allow me. Honorable members, shall we read the... Please resume your seat. Resume your seat. Please resume your seat. I just want to read the order aloud for all of us. The leader may have the supplementary questions more than 5, but the owner of the question has not more than 3 supplementary questions per our standing orders. The leader is there. The leader may have the opportunity to ask as many questions that he has. But please, let's all respect the standing orders. The standing orders is saying the owner of the question. In this case, Honorable Dafiamopo is here as the owner of the question. He has asked the main question, the substantive question, and I've given him 3 other chances to ask by way of supplementary questions. So please, let's allow the procedure to go on. If there's any other question you want to ask, you can pass it on to somebody else. I beg of you. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, just for a guide, is the evidence that I have asked 3 supplementary questions since the substantive? Is that the evidence? I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Well. Honourable members. Yes, let me start with Honourable Member for Solar.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
Please, no interjections. If you want to speak, I'll give you the opportunity. Only that, if we spend so much time, I may have to bring it to a close. Per our standing order, you shouldn't spend more than 1 hour for questions. So if the questions are so sensitive, I may indulge our time so that we go beyond it. But if we begin interjecting members, then within 1 hour we shall bring this session to a close. So let's respect each other so that we can have enough time to ask any question you want to ask. Yes, let me come to Member for Solar.
I thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, my question is, what could have caused the leakage of the ballot papers, and were there any investigations carried out and people found culpable punished? Because it costs us money.
Thank you very much. Honorable Commissioner.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. The National Security wrote a letter to the Commission that they were investigating, but we haven't received any report to that effect.
Very well. So I'll give you one more chance.
Mr. Chairman, I'm not satisfied with the answer.
It's not the issue of I'm satisfied or I'm not satisfied. Please. That is the answer he can offer. Let's take it. Yes. Yeah. Let him go here. Honorable member for Mandai. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I want to find out from the EC. He said when they realized that the ballot papers leaked, and looking at how close the elections were, they invited the political parties. Can you tell us the political parties that were involved? Yes, Honorable Deputy Commissioner.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. All the political parties that were registered at the time, including even those that did not have candidates for the presidential elections, all of them attended that meeting.
Very well.
MPP and NDC were there.
Very well. Now let me go. Okay. No, let me. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I want to find out from the EC. It's quoted amounts that they use in printing the ballots. Did you spend according to the approved budgets? Thank you very much. Yes, Deputy Commissioner.
Yes, please. We spent according to the approved budget.
Very well. Yes, let me go to main team. I request main team.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. Please, you accepted or you indicated that it was the electoral commissioner that was responsible for the distribution of the papers. That is what you told us. The electoral commission. Yes. Now, if you were responsible for that and there was a leakage, would you accept a failure on your part?
Yes, Deputy Commissioner.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Although the Electoral Commission is mainly responsible for that, there are other institutions, several players who also play a role. And at the time, the Commission was thinking about the greater good of the Ghanaian society. And we believe that going into the elections, having all the players accepting the rules of the game was more important. So the Commission took that decision. Thank you.
Very well. I come here one. So I'll come to you. Yes, let me go to Honorable Member for Lower Dentura.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. May I know for the Deputy Commissioner that during printing, all political parties are required to be there to ensure the supervision of the printing?
Yes, Deputy Commissioner.
Yes, please. We gave letters to all the political parties, so not all of them were able to provide agents, but a number of them had their agents there. Thank you.
Very well.
My follow-up question. Is it also true? I heard a news item that stated that there was no leakage. However, it was rather the NDC rep who was in the room who detected an anomaly, and therefore there was no leakage, and then raised the issue.
Yes, Deputy Commissioner.
That's not the case, Mr. Chairman.
Very well. Let me come to you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to ask the Deputy Commissioner whether this incident, this has been the first of its kind, and if this was not the first of its kind, how did they have solved this, the earlier one, apart from this current one?
Well, Deputy Commissioner.
that's the first time as an institution we've had such a problem.
Any follow-up? Yes. Dr. Kabiru.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I will want to know whether or not the circumstances that led to the printing of ballots after the general elections, as posed by in the question, whether it was peculiar to these elections or previous cases, we have said cases in the past, where you have to print ballots after the general elections.
Yes, Deputy Commissioner.
If I got the question well, did you say printing ballots after the general election or signing contracts?
The question that was posed to you was whether you have awarded contract for the printing of ballots, for the printing and supply of ballots. That was the substantive question that was asked. And you answered it brilliantly. The question that I'm asking as a follow-up is whether or not that situation of awarding and printing ballot was only peculiar to the 2024 election or 2020 elections. Before even that one, we have similar cases of you having to award and print ballots after the elections.
Yes.
No, thank you, Mr. Chairman. The standard practice is you give the award before the printing even begins. But this was a special circumstance, and the law allows that for you to address that. And let me also state that the Central Tender Committee, when we wrote the letter to them, their first meeting after the letter was 23rd of December. So they couldn't have given us the approval before the elections. Thank you.
Chairman, you didn't understand my question.
You are follow up a second question, please.
You didn't understand my question.
Honorable Dr. Kabiru,
yes.
If you didn't understand it, put the question in such a way that you understand, but you take it as your first question has been asked.
Thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, the question I'm asking is that the Electoral Commissioner admitted that they had awarded contracts for the printing and supply of ballot box since the 2024 general election. His answer has admitted that. And I'm asking, is this the practice within the Commission even before these particular elections? That's the question I'm asking.
Yes, Deputy Commissioner.
And I try to explain that the standard practice is to award the contracts before. But this was a special circumstance which necessitated that. Thank you.
Second question.
Dr. Kabiru, let me go to Reverend Intoso.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would like to know from the Deputy Electoral Officer that with regards to he reporting this matter to the National Security, may I know the last time you made a follow-up? Because it is 6 months after election. When was the last time you made a follow-up with the with the National Security, where they have gotten to? Because you were expecting a report from them.
Yes, Deputy Commissioner.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Right after the elections, we followed up. But we didn't get any response. And you know, we are in the process of doing a review of the 2024 general elections. We should be doing it very soon. So these are some of the things we'll be talking about.
Very well.
Mr. Speaker, he said right after the elections could be in January. We are in June. So you mean after January, you have not made any follow-up as to whether they are done or not? That was my question. So if you're saying that you did a follow-up right after the election, it implies that it could be January. So my question is that when was the last time after the election?
Yes, Deputy Commissioner.
Mr. Chairman, we have our Deputy Chairman for Operation who is primarily in charge of that. And He has done the follow-ups, as I said, right after the election. And the 2024 election, as far as the Electoral Commission is concerned, we haven't concluded the process. So these are some of the things very soon you hear from us. Thank you.
Well. Honourable members, this side is... so I'll give Ashaman, then to Ashaman, let me hear you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, I heard from the Deputy Director that they seek approval from the CTR. Is that the authority responsible for procurement issues in this country? And B, which procurement method did you use in getting the contract for the supply of the ballot papers?
Very well. Deputy Commissioner.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We did a national competitive tendering. And the CTRC came in because the threshold was more than that of the entity. The entity has a threshold of 1 million Ghana cedis. So anything beyond 1 million Ghana cedis, you have to get concurrent approval from the CTRC. So that's the main reason why we went to the CTRC. Thank you.
Very well. You asked 2 questions. You have answered 2 questions. You have asked 2 questions, my brother.
Mr. Speaker, don't be unfair to me.
Thank you.
You know me and you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Director, can you furnish this house with all the procurement proceedings leading to acquiring or leading to awarding this contract, the 2024 general election? Can you furnish?
Yes, Commissioner.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the national competitive tender, what we do is that we advertise in the newspapers. Which one?
Mr. Speaker, I'm not saying you should tell us now.
You want the documentation?
We want the documentation.
No, we have everything there.
From the meeting.
Very well. He says he has everything he can provide. Yes, I'm taking Peter Tobu and Deputy Minister for Education. Then I come to leadership if there's any. Yes, Peter.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. The Electoral Commission is responsible for distribution of electoral materials. And there was a leakage. And the leakage cost the taxpayer 6 million Ghana cedis. Will you agree with me that this cost, this financial loss to the state, is a responsibility of the EC?
Yes, Deputy Commissioner.
Mr. Chairman, from the Commission standpoint, this is not a financial loss to the state. It's not a financial loss to the state, largely because when you look at the budget that was given to us, the Commission did not exceed, let me put it that way. But beyond that, please let me answer, beyond that, the procurement method we adopted as an institution, ensured that we were able to reduce the prices. So when you compare the cost of elections in Ghana now, in 2015, the country did the cost of election was almost $13 per voter. In 2020, we did $7.70 per voter. And in 2024, when we finish the process, we will likely do something like less than $4. So for the Electoral Commission, we believe that by ensuring that the process was credible, we needed to have the support of all the parties. So we think we did the right thing for the country. Thank you.
Very well. Yes, Honorable Clementa Park.
Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I want to know from the Deputy Commissioner whether internally the Commission filed a case or a report with the Ghana Police Service.
Yes, Deputy Commissioner.
Mr. Chairman, because the National Security took it over, we allow them to continue and we'll get the details. Thank you.
Very well. So I give you the last.
Mr. Chairman, I disagree.
Honorable.
Yes, I disagree.
Honorable.
I disagree. The commission ought to have filed a formal complaint with the police. The commission ought to have filed a formal complaint with the police.
Honorable Clement Apak.
You don't renege on your responsibility.
Honorable Clement Apak.
Because a security agency has taken the matter upon itself. You have no report.
Honorable Clement Apak. You are my friend.
He is wrong.
Honorable Clement Apak. It is not your case to decide whether you agree or you don't agree. He has responded. Let him now come to leadership. Leadership. Honorable Leader of the House, Honorable Mahama Ayaga, any question?
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. My first question is, I can't agree with the Deputy Commissioner for telling us that...
Honorable, hold on. You are to ask a question. It is not your case to say, I don't agree or I'm not agreeing with you. Just ask the question. He's here to answer questions. So ask the question. Ask whether the question answer satisfy you or not is another angle. Your duty is to ask the question. Please go ahead and ask the question.
Mr. Chairman, would the Deputy Commissioner agree with me that he caused financial loss to the state? I say so because if you have a budget line, resources have been given to you, and out of your own negligence, you leave the paper.
Honorable Leader, I Deputy Whip, you know very well, under our rules, a question that has been asked, you don't need to go there again.
Mr.
That question
Speaker,
has been asked.
Mr. Speaker, the next question is...
Yes, I'm listening to the next question.
Mr. Chairman, the Deputy Commissioner did tell the House that he will provide us information in respect of the procurement that they did. How soon will he provide those information to the House?
Honorable Deputy Commissioner, members would like to know the time. How soon are you going to provide?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is something we can produce to the House maybe later by next week. But let me also say that what happened in 2024, the Commission was guided by the integrity and the credibility of the elections. And that one trumped all other concerns. So if even as an institution, we needed to exceed our budget to ensure the integrity of the process, we would have gone ahead to do that. Thank you.
Yeah, let him now come to leader. Honourable members, we will now move to question B, and the question still stands in the name of Honourable Roxanne Nelson Eche Kwame Dafiamabo. So, Honourable, you may take the second substantive question.
Speaker Chairman, may you live long. Because a lot of things have been revealed today. Speaker, my second question is in respect to ask the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, what exactly has prevented the Commission from declaring the Ablekuma North Parliamentary results since the December 7th elections? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honourable Deputy Commissioner.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. I would like to start by saying that the Electoral Commission is anxious about completing the Ablekuma North Parliamentary election results to ensure that the people of Ablekuma North have a representative in Parliament. As such, we are not relenting and we are not resting on our oars, but we are continuing to engage with the security agencies to ensure that we have the protection to complete the collation. It must be noted that an Accra High Court on 4th January 2025 ruled that the Electoral Commission should go and complete the collation of the results for Tema Central, Ablekuma North, Okaikwe Central, and Techiman South constituencies. We have completed all the constituencies except Ablekuma North. These are the efforts the Commission has made so far to ensure the completion of the Ablekuma North parliamentary results since the December 7th elections. On the 9th of December 2024, 15 polling station results were added to the already collated results. All the 54 polling station results, or the pin sheets, were received from the National Democratic Congress. This brought to 219 collated polling station results. On the 21st of December 2024, 25 polling station results were added to the collation process. All the 25 polling station results were received from the New Patriotic Party. It is important to emphasize that the said 25 pink sheets were not scanned pink sheets, but rather carbon copies from the MPP. Even though the NDC collation agents reported late after 10 of the carbon copies had been authenticated by the returning officer, they were also allowed to go through these 10 carbon copies of the results. Consequently, the rest of the remaining 15 carbon copies were authenticated by both the NDC and MPP agents for that day. This brought to 244 collated polling station results. 37 polling station results became outstanding. On the 5th of January, 17 polling station results were added to the collation. All the 17 polling station results, scanned copies, were received from the MPP and confirmed by the NDC agents. This brought to 261 collated polling station results. It should be noted that the decision to accept the scanned sheets from the parties was unanimously agreed upon by the Commission and the political parties. This decision was reached as a result of both parties admitting that they no longer have carbon copies of the results in their custody. On the 6th of January, 13 polling station results were added to the collation. All the 13 polling station results were received from the MPP and confirmed by the respective presiding officers of the 13 polling stations. All 13 presiding officers were brought in to verify their signatures and the results on the scanned copies. This brought to 274 collated polling station results. The presiding officers were made to confirm the scanned copy results because the NDC agents refused to confirm them. Once again, on the 8th of January 2025, 4 polling station results were added to the collation. All the 4 polling station results were received from the MPP and confirmed by the respective presiding officers. The presiding officers signed their respective pin sheets to confirm their authenticity. On all of these days, both the NDC and the MPP agents were present and witnessed the confirmation of the scanned pin sheets by the presiding officers. This brought to 278 collated polling station results. So 3 polling stations are outstanding. These are the attempts the Commission has made since this last collation exercise. The Commission on several occasions has made efforts to complete the collation. On the 15th of January 2025, the Commission wrote to the Ghana Police Service, the National Election Security Staff, to inform them that the collation on the 8th of January was not complete and requested for security to enable the EC to complete it on Friday, the 17th of January. In a press release dated 17th January, the Commission was informed by the police that per the intelligence available to them, the exercise should be put on hold. As a result of inadequate security, party supporters invaded the old office of the Commission and destroyed properties of the Commission, which included furniture, doors, and louver blades. Again, on 26 January 2025, the Commission wrote to the Ghana Police Service and the National Election Security Task Force requesting for a meeting on the completion of the collation process. In a response to our letter, the Ghana Police Service indicated that to ensure a peaceful and successful exercise, the Election Security Task Force has begun the consultative process for a convenient date and time for the meeting with all stakeholders associated with the exercise, scheduled to be held at the National Police Headquarters. On the 4th of February, the Commission wrote to the NEST, informing them of the National Election Security Task Force, informing them of the Commission readiness to attend the proposed meeting aimed at discussing the collation. Again, in a letter dated on 17 February, the Commission wrote to the Ghana Police Service to inform them about the urgent need to conclude the collation process, as the request for adequate security. This was after the conclusion of the two outstanding Council of State elections for the Northeast and Ashanti regions on Monday, 17 February 2025. The Commission invited political parties to an IPAC meeting on 26 February 2025 and followed it up with another meeting with the NPP and the NDC on Thursday, 13th March 2025. The NDC at the meeting raised some issues and followed it up with a letter to the Commission to address the issues raised in their letter. The Commission responded to all the issues raised by the NDC in their letters dated 17th March and 30th April 2025. Among the issues raised were the lack of invitation to participate in the collation process, denial of involvement in the collation of the 25 scanned pink sheets on the 21st of December 2024, and concerns about the use of scanned pink sheets purportedly from the New Patriotic Party during the collation on 5th January 2025. On 28th March, the Commission again wrote to the Ghana Police Service and informed them about the 3 polling station results which are still outstanding and the need to complete the collation. In the same letter, the Commission requested a meeting at the earliest convenience of the Security Task Force to agree on a date for the completion of the collation. At the scheduled meeting on the 10th of April 2025, the Commission was informed that the IGP had traveled to Boku as a result of the conflict and will be briefed on its return. On 2nd May 2025, the Commission wrote to the Election Security Task Force requesting a meeting on Thursday, 8th May 2025 to discuss the collation. At the scheduled meeting on the 8th May 2025, the collation process was scheduled to be completed on 15th May 2025 at the old headquarters of the Commission. Before the date for the collation, the police invited the Electoral Commission for a meeting on 13th May 2025 and informed the Electoral Commission that there was a pending case at the Supreme Court with respect to the Ablekuma North constituency, and further indicated that because of the legal process at the Supreme Court, they were unable to provide security to the Commission for the completion of the collation, since that will amount to contempt of court. In a letter dated 15th May to the Ghana Police Service, the National Election Security Task Force, the Commission informed them that our attention has been drawn to the fact that there was no injunction application pending or any process that prevents the Electoral Commission from going ahead to complete the process, and further requested for protection to enable the Electoral Commission to do its work. Furthermore, in the letter, the Commission requested a meeting the next day, that is 16th May, on Friday, to agree on a date for the completion of the collation. The Ghana Police Service, the National Election Security Task Force, in a response to our letter, informed the Commission that the issue of the completion of the collation of Ablekuma North constituency parliamentary election result has been referred to the Office of the Attorney General and Ministry of Justice for legal advice, and further stated that in the view of the referral, the National Security Task Force will hold on until the legal advice is received. Since then, we have followed up with the police, and they have indicated they have not received the advice from the Attorney General. We have also had productive meetings with the two political parties about how to complete the parliamentary election collation at Ablekuma North. In the last meeting on the 12th of June, the two parties came with two perspectives to conclude the election. One of the parties stated that the process, the collation should continue, whilst the other party stated that there should be rerun in 37 polling stations. To conclude, the collation process in Ablekuma North has been very, very transparent, participatory, and accountable. The agents of the NPP and the NDC have always been present throughout the collation, as well as the media. The evidence of what transpired from the 9th of December were captured by the media, and this shows a transparent process devoid of bias, and it was open. The parties agreed to the use of scan sheets, and their agents approved of them. Mr. Speaker, This has been the process so far, and the evidence exists with all the major media houses that covered the collation. Mr. Speaker, the collation has been transparent. As a commission, we are desirous of ensuring that the people of Ablekuma North have a representation in Parliament. We urge this Honourable House to assist us in getting the support of the Ghana Police Service to provide the requisite protection to enable us to complete this collation exercise. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Honorable Nelson Echedam Fiamapo.
Speaker, that was a long answer to a very short question.
So, honorable members, let's hear the owner of the question if he has any supplementary questions. Yes, honorable member.
Speaker,
any
let
supplementary
me
questions?
anchor my supplementary questions on Article 45C of the Constitution. Speaker, Speaker Chairman, with your leave, let me read. The Electoral Commission shall have the following functions. C, to conduct and supervise all public elections and referenda. Speaker, the answers provided to this very short question by the Electoral Commission are firmly anchored within Article 45C of the Constitution. They have the mandate to organize, conduct, and supervise our public elections. The implied powers are also that where you organize a public election and in pursuance of Regulation 36 of CI 127, it got disrupted, you have the power to organize a rerun of the elections. You agree with me? Are you the Electoral Commissioner? Yindam, are you the Electoral Commissioner? If you like, go and take the seat.
Honorable,
go and take the seat.
Honorable Dafiamapo, please address the chair.
Mr. Chairman, Honorable Yindam, you are ignored. Electoral Commissioner, you agree with me that in pursuance of Article 45C of the Constitution and also in consonance with Regulation 36 of CI 127, where you exercise your mandate to organize, conduct, organize, and supervise public elections, and same got disrupted by no fault of the Commission, you have the power to call for a rerun or reorganize that particular public elections. You agree with me?
Is that the question? Yes. Deputy Commissioner, you have the floor.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. In as much as I agree
yes
with...
or no, then you can explain.
No, it's not yes or no. In as much we...
Hold on. Honorable Dafiamapo. Honorable Dafiamapo. Honorable Dafiamapo. Honorable Nelson Dafiamapo. Honorable member, please. Honorable member, please, you ask the question. You don't have the right to direct how the question be answered. So just ask the question, and the officer, in this case, the deputy chairman, deputy commissioner, will respond. So please don't direct the way you should answer the questions. So, deputy, you may go on to answer the question.
Thank you. I was going to make the point that if in the wisdom of the commission there should be a rerun, the commission will do that. But in the Ablekuma instance, the evidence of the results, we had the same instance in Dobikwabenya. We even went to the extent of collecting the tally cards from the agents of the parties. So Ablekuma North, we haven't reached the point where the commission will say we don't have the results. So when we try and we cannot get the results, that's when we will resort. So the rerun will be a last option. So once we get to that point, we will do. But as we speak now, the commission is ready to proceed with the collation. We just need the support of the security agencies to enable us complete it. Thank you.
Very well. Yes, Honorable Dafiamapo. Nelson, may you shift to other. Check your mic and let me see. Check your mic. Check your mic and let me see.
Sabotage.
Speaker, Mr. Chairman, the Deputy Commissioner misunderstood my question. Please. He misunderstood my question. My question was not to ask him to rerun the Ablekuma North elections, parliamentary elections. I situate my question within the law and to ask him whether the commission has the power that where they organize any public election and it got disrupted, whether they have no power to order for a rerun. That's why I said yes or no, then he could explain, and they won't permit me. So he proceeded to speak about Ablekuma North. That was not the gravamen of my question.
So can he go on to answer that question?
Yes. I want to hear him answer that question.
Administratively, I will say yes.
Great.
Yes. Next question.
Mr. Speaker, no, I don't have a last question. No, it's not me about leader.
Honorable member, just listen to me, please. Go
Speaker,
on and ask the question.
Mr. Chairman, please. I have spent some time in this house, and I know when leadership on the other side, when they are doing this, I know how they do it. Mr. Speaker, my question is this. The Electoral Commission has just told us that upon the conclusion of the elections in Ablekuma North in respect of the parliamentary elections, they could not account for some pink sheets. They could not. To the extent that they had to accept 25 scanned carbon copies from the NPP. To the extent that the Electoral Commission says that they have accepted scanned carbon copies from the New Patriotic Party. Mr. Speaker, this fact is not supported in the laws that govern the organization of our public elections. It does not. Speaker, let me read CI 127 in respect of
Honorable
Regulation 43.
Can you ask the question? You've laid the foundation.
I am laying the foundation to make a point. It's supplementary. I have been here. Your supplementaries were like 10 minutes just to build it.
Honorable, go ahead.
Mr. Speaker, Regulation 43 is head noted Declaration and Publication of Parliamentary Election Results. 43.1, subject to Regulation 42 immediately after the results of the poll for all the polling stations in the constituency of the returning officer, have been given to the returning officer, and the returning officer shall, in the presence of the candidates or the representative of the candidate, or no more than 2 counting agents appointed by each candidate, assemble the results from the polling stations without recounting the ballots in the ballot boxes, except where there is a challenge by a candidate or a counting agent in respect of a specific ballot box. B. Fill the parliamentary election results summary sheet as set out in Form 1D of the schedule. Speaker, the procedure provided for declaring the parliamentary results as set out in Regulation 43 of CI 127 is very clear. It's very clear. So what is the question? So the question is that where you have pink sheets of the Electoral Commission tainted, they cannot be accepting any other electoral pink sheets from any other political party. Speaker, honorable member. Speaker, please. Honorable Speaker, so I am putting it to him. That the story. Listen, please. Honorable Dafiameko. Speaker, please ask the question. Chairman, please. I am putting it to him that listen to the question. I am putting it to him. You are a layman, so you are appreciate it. Putting it to him by way of question. So, Speaker, I am putting it to the Electoral Commissioner that the story that they took scanned carbon copies in the absence of the officially designated pink sheets from the Electoral Commission is irregular in terms of Regulation 43. And therefore, it has no basis to be counted and to be factored into the declaration of the results. Honorable Speaker, I put that to him. So is it a statement or a question? Speaker, in other words, what I'm saying is that the story he has told us reached Regulation 43 of CI 127. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm putting it. Well, Honorable Deputy Commissioner, did you get all what he said?
I'll try and respond to.
Okay, answer the question.
Chairman, I think one of the things we need to state is that from the Commission standpoint, the country has made a lot of progress when it comes to electoral democracy. And the EC is mandated to do whatever it is.
With all due respect, he should answer the question that he can explain his answers. Yes, I agree, then you explain. No, I disagree. Honorable member. Start with a story. Honorable member, please. Honorable Dafiamako. In asking the question, you went round before asking the question. If he is also responding the question in such a way that you and everybody here can understand, please allow him to answer the question. Mr. Chairman, I take strong exception to the phrase that I went round. I quoted the law. Well, I quoted the law. No. I quoted the law to lay a foundation to suggest strongly that the story that they had to borrow scanned carbon copies from the NPP was contrary to the provision in Regulation 43 of CI 127. That is what I put to him. So, leader, if ask the question, just allow the Deputy Commissioner to answer.
Chairman, in my response, I indicated that when one of the parties brought the scanned copies, it was endorsed by the agents of the other parties. Let me also say that the Commission disagrees with the question because the Commission is mandated to ensure the integrity of the process. And as an institution, we are very careful. We don't do anything to set a bad precedent, which will go a long way to undermine the country's democracy. So in Domikwa Benya, when we had to go beyond our reach, to even reach out to agents of political parties to bring tally cards, we did that. So what we are basically saying is that we need the support of the House so that we can complete the process. Because we think that It is unfair that the people of Ablekuma North don't have a representation in this August House. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Dafiamapo.
Speaker, the Electoral Commission, in responding to my substantive question earlier, indicated that sometime on or about January 24, 2025, in pursuance of a High Court order, they were mandated to go and do a recount in the Ablekuma North constituency. If that is the fact, then I can ask my question. Is that correct?
To complete the collation.
Please.
To complete the collation.
Good. So, do you recall that as part of the court order, the court order in question, you were specifically directed, because part of the complaint before the court was that your returning officer was not permitted to lead the process, and therefore the court directed that go and rely on your returning officers to complete the process. You recall? And yet, in going back to do the recollation, you did not use your returning officer for Ablekuma North. He was not the returning officer. The returning officer for the December 7th elections was not the returning officer you used for the recollation for Ablekuma North in pursuance of the court order.
Yes, Deputy Commissioner.
Honorable, the returning officer for the Ablekuma North constituency has not changed. So if you have been watching the proceedings on TV, the same person has been doing it. So check, please. The same person has been doing it.
Honorable, if I just tell you, Honorable Dafiamapo, if I just said you have not,
Mr. Speaker, with all due respect, I have not. This is my last supplementary. If you are not paying attention, please.
Honorable, ask that. Oh, what is that?
If you recall, the first one was rephrased.
Honorable Dafiamapo, just ask the last question.
Mr. Speaker, let me say this, that clearly the Electoral Commission, in the present circumstances, based on the facts he has brought to this house, is incapable. Oh, can you be quiet? Can you be quiet and listen to me, Speaker? You are a senior member of this house, so take your time. You are a senior member.
Honorable Martin Indam.
Mr. Chairman,
please.
Mr. Chairman, I am saying that based on the facts submitted to this house, the Electoral Commission is incapable of concluding the matters in respect of the parliamentary elections in the December 2024 election.
So what's the question now?
So the question is that would it not be prudent for the Electoral Commission to exercise its powers under Article 45C to declare a fresh elections in Ablekuma North? Would it not be prudent?
Well, you've asked your question, Deputy Commissioner.
Mr. Chairman, we are capable of concluding the process. Thank you.
Well. Honourable members, you've asked a question. I'm looking for those who have not asked questions. Yes.
Mr.
Mr. Speaker.
Whatever opportunity I'll give you. Don't worry. There's no two ways about it.
Just briefly. A follow-up to...
Hold on.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Chairman, my question is to the Deputy Head of the Commission. Mr. Chairman, I want to find out from him, at the moment, is there any court order that is preventing you from declaring Ablekuma North?
Yes. Deputy Commissioner?
No, please. We are only waiting for the security agencies to provide us the protection to conclude. Thank you.
Yes.
Please, can you give me your attention? My last question. You said it is left with 3 polling stations. At the moment, the ones that you have collated, do you have the results, and what are the figures? What has been collated now?
Deputy Commissioner, are you minded to answer this question?
Yeah, we don't have the figures here.
Very well. It doesn't have the figures here. I'll give you one. You've already, so yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I want to ask the
what? He has answered. Commissioner, respond.
Please, we don't have the figures here. We are left with the 3 polling stations, then we'll add everything up. We don't have the figures here.
Very well.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chairman, I just want to ask the Deputy Director, in a reasonable man's view, how long will it take the Commission to know? Let me finish the question before you come in. So, Mr. Chairman, I'm asking, in a reasonable man's view, how long will it take the Commission to come to terms or to understand that the people of Ablekuma North are not represented in this chamber, and for that matter, waiting for the security agency in that collation to declare the result will go a long way to affect the people of Ablekuma North. Rather than doing so, you just need to do the needful, which is the other option you know. Thank you very much.
I think on the contrary, we think that the security agents should be able to do their job. And we've had several meetings with them. So we are hoping that they would, if they tell us that tomorrow they are ready, we are ready.
Very well. Yes. Honorable Efia.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Chairman. And let me commend the Deputy Commissioner for the EC for the detailed response to the House. Mr. Speaker, according to the Deputy Commissioner, all processes have been done to the point that it's left with only 3 polling stations to be completed. Now, with the issue of security, if they write to the national security, the security task force, and they are unable to give them timelines to help them complete the collation exercise, what have they done in escalating this issue of police assistance to any higher authority beyond the security task force? Have they pegged it above the security task force so that we can get it done?
Yes.
We haven't escalated it beyond the police, because in my response I indicated the police said they were getting advice. So we are waiting for them to write to us based on the advice for us to proceed. So we haven't done any escalation.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. So in the event where now they say they are seeking the opinion from Attorney General, and the Attorney General over the period has not gotten back to the EC, is it the position of the EC that we are going to stay in abeyance until when? And so can the EC tell us, beyond the security, you have the mandate to provide the people of Ghana the final resource of Ablekuma. Beyond the security that is not available, what can the EC do, since you have the final figures as at now, to give it to the good people of Ghana?
Yes, Commissioner.
Mr. Chairman, EC, we report to Parliament. I know until rest in the Special Budget Committee, but now we know the Committee on Independent Constitutional Bodies. So we give it some time. If we are not getting any proper feedback, we'll write to the Committee on Independent Constitutional Bodies that this is what is happening. And we know that the police are there to serve all of us. And we believe that the Parliament should be able to invite them to explain why they are not doing what they are supposed to do. Thank you.
Well. Let me go to... Is it Kuma? No. I mean, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me thank the Commissioner for the answers. And then my question is on the issue of the cost items he itemized going downwards. He talked of the error that at a point it was $13. They brought it to $7.
Honorable member.
And they brought.
Honorable member.
Yes.
I think we've gone beyond that question. That was the earlier question.
Mr. Speaker, I'm coming. Mr. Speaker. I beg you, this house is a house of records. I beg you. Mr. Speaker, this house is a house of records. If we are doing registration and the commissioner decided that they were not doing registration at various polling stations, and that they centralized the cost on members of Parliament to carry people to come to places and register. And today the costs were borne by parliamentary candidates. And now you tell us that you reduce costs. It's not a fact. It is not a fact. We bore the cost. We had to carry people from left, right, center to go and register. It must be clear.
Mr. Speaker, let me thank you so much for the opportunity. I heard the commissioner or deputy commissioner saying that we have only 3 police stations to finish with the collation. I'm asking him, with the 3 police stations, is he going to collect with original pink sheets or a scanned pink sheets?
Yes, Deputy Commissioner.
During the last exercise, when four pink sheets were accepted, in that same meeting there were supposed to be 7 in all. So all the presiding officers of those specific polling stations have confirmed. So, but we don't know the figures, but the returning officer has all the details. So we believe that once the environment is created, the returning officer should be able to do the work for us to have a member of Parliament for the Ablekuma North constituency. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, the question is not answered. I'm asking him, is he collecting with the original pink sheets or a scanned pink sheet? This is the answer I want. So original or a scanned pink sheet? This is a simple question.
For the 3 outstanding, I will not be able to see exactly, because I know some of the presiding officers too came around with a carbon copy. So, but what I can say without any doubt is that there are 3 polling station results that are outstanding. And when they are doing it, they will do it with the agents of the parties.
I think if I'm going back to the question the questioner, asks first. Mr. Speaker, so if he's going to collect the rest of the results with a scalping sheet, then there's a problem. That's a serious problem.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to lay a premise where last week, Mr. Speaker, last week the Minister for Interior was here. I had the authority to ask him the state of the Ablekuma elections. Mr. Speaker, he said that after mentioning the 13th May issue, where they reported to the Electoral Commission that the court has raised, or one of the parties has raised an issue, that there is a pending court issue. Apart from that, the Electoral Commission have not written to them again. Mr. Speaker, I asked a second follow-up question to ask whether it is true that the Electoral Commission has not written to them. Mr. Speaker, the minister came back to emphasize that the Electoral Commission has not written to them asking for security. I want the Electoral Commission to now tell us, after 13th, how many times has he written to the police or the security agency requesting for protection to conduct the collation? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Commissioner.
If my memory, we wrote another one on the 15th of May. But we have a constant someone at the police service who is in charge. We engage regularly. So we do that. But in terms of writing, we wrote on the 15th. 15th. Yes.
Very well.
Yes. Yes. So we have somebody, one of the commissioners we engage regularly.
Let me go to my senior.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sorry, Mr. Chairman. You are saying that you have written to the police to provide several times to provide you with security so that you can go ahead and then declare the results. Now, more than 5 months now, don't you think that you have to consider the idea of reorganizing the elections so that you can go ahead and declare the results for them to get a representation? Are you considering that option of reorganizing fresh elections? Thank you. Please allow him to answer, please. I beg you.
No, that question has been done.
I didn't hear that.
Respond. For your sake, you will respond again.
For emphasis.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. The Commission strongly believes that for the processes that have gone on so far, if we go back to the good people of this country that we are abolishing everything, it will not be good for our democracy. It will not be good for our democracy. Thank you. So let's allow the process to continue. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to ask, according to the explanation we have gotten here, it means that the results are not out because the office of the Attorney General has not given permission to the police or given advice to the police to give the protection that the Electoral Commission needs to declare. In other words, or is that the case, or in other words, it means it's the Attorney General's office who is delaying the result. Thank you very much. Yes.
Yeah, Chairman, thank you so much.
It's not a question. Irrelevant.
Chairman, thank you so much. Mine is a sequel to the inquiry Dr. Afo made earlier. Indeed, if I recall properly, the Deputy Commissioner told us that all is set for the declaration of the Ablekuma North result, except for the fact that they cannot provide security.
and that my understanding is that it is only the police that is making this whole exercise impossible for them to declare. May I know clearly if they are ready with the original pink sheet of the 3 remaining polling stations? Original or not?
Honourable member, this question has been asked.
Speaker, respectfully, it's not been answered.
There are standing orders, a question that has been asked. You don't go back to it.
Speaker, Chairman, it's not been answered.
The Chairman, as I indicated, Ablekuma North has 281 polling stations. We've been able to conclude 278. So the 3, when we get to the completion, the returning officer will be there to conclude the process. Thank you.
Honourable members, should I get to yes, Gary?
Thank you very much, Honourable Chair. Honourable Chair, I want to ask the Deputy Commissioner, was he able to use any scan sheets to declare election in Domikwabenya?
Jerry, may you repeat the question, please?
Very well. Honourable Chair, just asking the Commissioner, the Deputy Commissioner, whether or not Electoral Commission ever used any scanned copies to declare elections in 2024.
Yes, Deputy Commissioner.
Chairman, thank you. In Domikwabenya, what we did was we used the tally cards of the parties, which was even far beyond the scan sheet. But let me say this. The scan sheet were not used in isolation. The agents of the parties endorsed. So if you look at the narration, some point NDC will bring some carbon copies. Then the MPP people will endorse in that manner. So it wasn't, the scan copies were not used in isolation. And at a point when one of the parties decided not to accept, we invited the presiding officers who conducted the election, who supervised the elections in those specific polling stations. So nothing was done one-sided. Everything was done with the support of the 2 parties. Thank you.
Speaker, just a follow-up.
Yes.
Just a follow-up. Honourable Chair, are we saying that at all times material, all the pink sheets and scanned sheets were confirmed by the respective party agents, including the EC staff who were supposed to be doing this work?
Yes, Deputy Commissioner.
Yes, please.
Well. Now, I'll take comfort. Do you then take the Minister for Education? The lady wants to talk, so I will give the ladies also the opportunity. And Matthew, then I come to the 2 leaders. Come again.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Let him listen to her first, then I'll come to you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Please, my question is, now that you don't have original copies of the 3 polling stations left, and they are scanned copies, how ready are you to declare the results? Because I know you need original copies to do that, but you don't have it. You still have scanned copies. So how ready are you, waiting for the security to give you protection to declare the results? Thank you.
Well. Yes.
I think I mentioned that we have done 278. The 3 will be handled by the returning officer. And I made the point that there are some of the presiding officers, just when you have called them to come and endorse the pink sheet, then they will probably even provide you with a carbon copy. So when we get there, we have the agents of the parties. This is something which is done at the collation center. Thank you.
Yes, let him go to Bandai. Honorable Matiinda. He has asked questions. He has asked questions. Thank you, Chair. I want to find out from the EC, although he's discounted some kind of proposition about a rerun. But I want to find out, if event that you want to rerun, will you need police service? Will you need security?
Yes, please.
You will need security?
Yes, please.
Thank you very much. I want to ask another question. We are improving, and in conducting elections, we need backups. So scan copies and other technology that you deployed, were the parties aware of some of these technologies that you deployed? Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Very well. Let me come to Honorable Comfortdeyo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, presidential and parliamentary election, we took just 1 day, 10 hours, and we had results. And we are having challenge with just one. MPP is saying 3 police stations. We are saying 37 police stations. Look at how you are going round. And 6 good months, still we are at where we are. The bureaucracy on this one is too much for us. Consider their mental health. If you want to rerun, it will take you just 10 hours, but you finish. So I'm begging you, if you cannot find results there, just do the 10 hours rerun. What is your question? The women there, one of them will win. And their mental health, consider their mental health.
Honorable Comfortdeyo, what is your question?
Today and say thank you, Ablekuma North, for voting for me. Then the other one go and destroy it. Then this one to bring another signboard. Please, we need just 10 hours to solve this problem. The bureaucracy, I've now seen why we are having challenges. Because simple thing that you need 10 hours to do, look at how you are going. Going here, going there, seeking this, seeking that. I beg you, 10 hours, 1 day, fix the date, and let's go and do the rerun. 10 hours, 1 result.
Yes. Yes. Okay, let me give it.
Chairman. Chairman, I want to know from the EC. Based on 2 stories in the Bible. The first one is the 2 women who had gone to Solomon about the death of a child. And the one whose child was alive had insisted that the child alive should not be killed when the other one had requested for it. The second one is the David story, where David had so many wives and concubines, but still went for the wife of his commander. I want to know from the EC whether it is only the NDC that is requesting for a rerun of the whole election in Ablekuma North.
Well,
whether it is only the EC that is calling for the
Deputy
rerun,
Commissioner,
the NDC,
Deputy Commissioner, are you minded to respond to the question? Yes,
of this election based on only 3 police stations?
We've heard you.
We have data on them.
We have heard you. Yes, Deputy Commissioner.
The Ablekuma North Parliamentary Constituency election was contested by only 2 parties, the MPP and the NDC. So I don't know whether what he's saying will apply, but only 2 parties contested. And the EC, as I said, we believe that this must come to an end. So we are seeking the support of the House to help us to complete it. Thank you.
Honorable Harun Idrisu. So you pick. Thank you, Mr. Speaker and leaders. Mine is just one of 3 observations. But Mr. Speaker, they will come in a question form before I make my proposition. Mr. Electoral Commissioner, are you aware that declaration of resource is governed by law?
Yes, Deputy Commissioner.
Yes, please. And are you aware that the law that allows you to declare resource defines where resource should be declared?
Yes, Deputy Commissioner.
Is a police station one of those entities lawfully allowed where you should declare resource?
Deputy Commissioner.
No, the question is a police station where results should be declared by the Electoral Commission in accordance with law and the constitutional instrument guiding your conduct of elections, whether presidential or parliamentary.
At times, circumstances allow that.
No, Mr. Speaker. You see, Mr. Speaker, that's why ordinarily I waited to listen. This House, Parliament, is the guardian of human rights and freedoms. And Parliament is the guardian of fundamental freedoms. And Parliament is the guardian of independent constitutional bodies. And now my observation, so that you understand where I'm coming. Mr. Speaker, let's not take these matters for granted. If you have 276 constituencies of the Republic, you declare results with outstanding 9, and you have the comfort to sleep and wait for 1 or 2 weeks or more to declare the rest. Do you know what will happen to our democracy if you had something akin to 2020? You know what will happen to our democracy? That you declare results and you have up to 9 constituencies. Regardless, I'm not interested in who won the seat, but you have an independent electoral commission. You are to declare results. And Mr. Speaker, that resource has an implication and consequence on the balance of power. On the balance of power. And the state, whether executive or parliamentary, assuming what would have happened to the country if we were not well behaved, that a certain portion of the population, one is aware that they have no elected representative in parliament, unacceptable. More so, they have to wait more than 30 days, 20 days for the Electoral Commission to do that. Mr. Speaker, it's about their integrity. For me, that's even shameful that today you are coming because Parliament have summoned you. What's the state of integrity of the Commission? That you conduct an election and you want to hold on.
Honorable Minister for Education, thank you. I think appropriate time.
Okay. No, honorable members, to be you.
Honorable members, I have allowed him. So I have allowed him to speak because of his standing. But please, honorable members, he has already asked 3 questions. He's now advising, and I think the commissioner was brought here to answer questions. Please, at appropriate forum, we will give him the opportunity to do what he's doing. But for now, I think we have done that. So can we now go to the leadership? Okay, let me give former minister for my friend, I gave him the opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, honorable.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to take over from where my good friend, the Minister for Education, left off. That we are running a democracy, and we should allow institutions of state to work. I feel very sad as former Minister for Defense that the impression is being created that the Ghana police, and if they cannot do it, to be supported by the military, cannot give the Electoral Commission protection for 3 constituencies. I feel very sad. 3 polling stations I feel very sad. That is not the type of democracy. That is not the type of democracy we should be running. That there are 3 polling stations that should be declared to give over 300,000 people. Oh, but the man just spoke. The man just spoke. But Commissioner, leave him. Leave him. Are you done?
Continue. If you're not done, continue.
Mr. Speaker, my colleague opposite is the chief whip of this house. The majority chief whip. It is his duty to bring order to the house. I'll leave it at that. It's your duty. I was sitting here as deputy leader 12 years ago. I sat here as deputy leader of the opposition 12 years ago. It's your duty to bring order to this house. And I'll leave it at that. If you want to hurt me next time, give it to a backbencher to hurt me. Not you. But, Mr. Chairman, is the commission telling me, because I've seen it done before, in 2004, 2008, I've seen it done 2012, and even to 2016, is the commission telling me that they cannot set a date at the headquarters of the commission and declare the 3 police stations? Is that what you are saying?
Yes, Deputy Commissioner.
Are you saying that you cannot set a date for the 2 political parties? If you have enough evidence to declare, you are saying you cannot set a date at your headquarters and declare the results?
Honourable Member, you've asked your question.
Mr. Chairman, the Commission has always made the point clear that we want to work with all the political parties to come to the conclusion of the exercise, and that's what the posture we've adopted, that we work with the MPP, the NDC, so that we complete the process. But Mr. Chairman, let me say the Minister for Education was asking a question. We don't gazette collation centers. So in the wisdom of the EC, if a place we had intended to do the collation will give us a problem, we can change. And that was the reason why we had to go to the police headquarters, because we don't gazette collation centers. So if there is any problem, we just move to another place. Thank you.
Well.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chairman, the whole nation is watching us. Here's my question. The constituency had 281 polling stations. 219 were collated with carbon pink sheets. That means 62 were left. How many of these 62 did the commission use scanned pink sheets to collate?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, the 62, when I was reading, I made the point that the MPP also came with 25. I said NDC brought 54 carbon copies. MPP also brought 25 carbon copies. So for the scanned copies so far, with what we've done, 34. But as I said, the agents of the parties endorsed some of them. Then the others were also authenticated by the presiding officers of those various polling stations. Thank you.
So, Mr. Commissioner, is it the case that when a scan sheet is being used, the 2 parties must agree to it?
Must agree. The 2 parties must agree. So when it got to the point when one of the parties was not agreeing, we had to invite the presiding officers of those polling stations who signed off. So they were invited and they endorsed it. And all this was on national TV. Thank you.
Well. I'm now coming to leadership. They can. What?
Honourable members, we've had a lot. Let's now restrict. Let's now come to leader. Come again.
My question was, of the 62, and I'm giving a specific number, how many of the 62 did they use scan pink sheets to collate? We want a direct response. 20, 30, 40.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I said 34.
Well, honourable members, I think we've had. Now let me come to leadership. Come again. Yes. Honourable minority leader. Welcome.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, my first question, I will read the Hansard of this House dated the 11th of June 2025, which Hansard contains a response to a question asked by Honorable Nana Asafreje Aye on behalf of Honorable Daniel Nana Adokene, MP for Okra. Mr. Speaker, at column 83, quote, question, Mr. Speaker, I beg to ask the Minister for Interior the specific arrangement made by the Ministry to ensure the provision of adequate security for the collaboration and declaration for collation and declaration of parliamentary results of the Ablekuma North constituency. Now, the Minister of Interior, Al-Hajj Mohammed Mubarak Muntaka, responds as follows on column 83. Mr. Speaker, following the request by the Electoral Commission for the Ghana Police Service to provide security for the completion of the collation of Ablekuma North constituency parliamentary election results, National Election Security Task Force convened a stakeholder meeting with the Electoral Commission where it was agreed that the task force will meet both the NDC and the NPP before the proposed date for the completion of the collation. The answer continues at column 84. I continue to read. Mr. Speaker, during the meeting with the National Democratic Congress, the task force was informed that there is a pending suit at the Supreme Court bordering on the collation. The task force was subsequently served with a motion paper that had been filed at the Supreme Court objecting to the completion of the collation. Checks conducted by Election Task Force at the Registry of the Supreme Court by the Legal Directorate of Ghana Police Service confirmed the pending suit at the court. Unquote. Mr. Speaker, on the strength of this, I want to ask the Deputy Chair whether he has become aware that the Election Security Task Force, led by the police, is unable to provide security for the completion of collation of the outstanding 3 polling stations because of any court injunction, and if he's become aware whether they've been served with any court process in respect of that.
Yes, Honorable.
Mr. Chairman, we have not been served with any process. And as I said, the police has made us aware that they are getting the advice. So I know from next week we'll continue to engage them and we'll let them know maybe we want to do it on this particular day. Once they are ready to provide us the security, we'll just proceed. So again, from the side of the Electoral Commission, we are ready to conclude the process. Thank you.
Well, Chairman, I know that all these processes started before the 6th of May. And prior to the 6th of May, the general understanding was that when a process is filed in the Supreme Court or any superior court of adjudicature and it's seeking some injunctive reliefs, once the process is served, parties must restrain themselves or that the process operates impliedly as a stay. Now, we know that in Kowasefwa, which is some 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, the Supreme Court has been very unequivocal that nothing stops a constitutional body or a statutory body from undertaking a statutory or constitutional mandate unless expressly injuncted by a court. I'm just putting that across. Now, Mr. Deputy Commissioner, in your response to us, you made reference to Domiko Abenya and stated that Domiko Abenya also had similar challenges where parties, in this case, the candidate of the NDC and the candidate of MPP, both could not provide you with original pink sheets. You further went on to talk about the fact that both candidates could not also provide you with scanned copies of the pink sheets for you to validate. However, you were able to rely on some tally cards to conclude the results, and by the grace of God, our colleague on the other side was declared the MP-elect and eventually got sworn in by this House. May you explain what you mean by the tally cards in the absence of the scan pink sheets?
Yes, Deputy Commissioner.
Mr. Chairman, what the standard practice at the polling stations is that each of the candidates or the political parties, they have this card where their agents, they take inventory of the people who are coming to vote. When they finish, you're able to know the results for candidate A, candidate B. So all the parties, that has been the standard practice. So in Domiko Abenya, when we got to the point where we couldn't get the results, the original results, and there were no other avenues, we resorted to that, and indeed it confirmed. So if my memory serves me right, when we were even declaring, when we were declaring the Domiko Abenya, one of the, I think the MPP candidate was not even there, but the commission went ahead to complete the process. So what we are doing now with reference to the Ablekuma North, we know we are well within the law. Administratively, anytime we have a challenge, we go around to see what we can do to get the results. And as I said previously, we should be very careful about the integrity of our process. If we are not very careful, we may end up getting people who go and disrupt the process because they know when they do that, we are going to have a rerun. And those are the things all of us must support to avoid. Thank you.
Yes. Yes, leader, please. We have a lot of it, so don't look at them. Look at me and go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, I was coming to this very important point, and the commissioner has managed to take the wind out of my very good sail. But it needs emphasis that although the candidate of the MPP, Mr. Mike Okwe Jr., objected and protested
he lawfully exercised those rights without coming to your offices to obstruct, thereby you declaring for the other candidate, because I was indeed at the time, an authorized officer from our party to coordinate the process. We disagreed, and I said no, but you had relied on precedents to say that it is the only way, and we agreed. That said, I want to know from you, these 3 polling stations you mentioned, you also talked about the presiding officers who appended their signatures having to confirm. May I know from you whether these 3 polling station scan sheets have had their presiding officers confirming their signatures on the polling sheets?
Yes. Mr. Chairman, when it comes to the parliamentary elections, the one in charge is the returning officer. From the engagement we have with the returning officer, he tells us he's ready to complete the process. So if the returning officer tells us he's ready, then I believe that he should have what it takes to complete the process. Thank you.
Yes. This is question 4.
No, this is the 4th.
Yeah, this is the 4th.
No, okay. Mr. Deputy Commissioner, the Honorable Haruna Idrisu, a very respected senior member of this House, whose politics started way before this August House, and as a senior member, former leader and now education minister, he's raised a very important constitutional issue, which matter has received the blessing of another senior member, Honorable Dominic Nitiwo, to the effect that as a constitutional body, you owe a sacred duty to the Constitution and to the people. All you've said today tells us one thing: you are ready. Now, is there any lesser price to pay? Is there any lesser price to pay than to discharge your duty and suffer any punishment for it? Because, Mr. Chairman, the Deputy Commissioner is saying that all they need is police protection. But in the fight for civil liberties and in the protection of rights and freedoms, people have suffered for it. I want to ask you, don't you think that you can take the moral high ground with all the confirmations done, like you did in the Domiko Abenya? Domiko Abenya, when you were declaring, there was no police. I was available. Domiko Abenya, there was no police. You, a party protested, but you proceeded. So don't you think that on the strength of what Mr. Idrisu and Mr. Nitiwo have advised, coupled with the very point I'm making, you as a commission can boldly proceed to conclude this, so that Ghanaians will see that the police has delayed you and you have proceeded to do your constitutional duty even at the peril of your life. Don't you think that you would have to proceed on that path?
Yes, Deputy Commissioner.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. I think the Commission has looked at several options, and the Commission came to the conclusion that we think it will be in the best interest of the Commission and the country to have all the parties on the same page for us to make progress. So we think that, and we coming here is an excellent opportunity for us, for the House, to ensure that all of us are on the same page, because we believe that we have come very far as a country, and this is something we should be able to agree in the interest of our country's democracy. Thank you.
I'll give the final question, yes.
Mr. Commissioner, although I find this your response quite rich and curious, the rules of engagement now do not permit me to go on a certain path with you. But if you're talking about collective cooperation of parties to give a certain positive signal, then the suggestion out there that the Commission was not fair in the matter of Michael Okoye Jr. of Dominico Abenya will suffice, because you are anchoring your reason. You are anchoring your reason on the grounds of fairness, that the Commission wants both parties to be available. But in the Dominico Abenya, in a similar way, one party protested and was not available, but you proceeded to declare. So don't you think that, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairman, I laid the foundation. Let me finish. Don't you think that the path you are choosing, that until all the parties are available, will amount to EC itself sidestepping its precedents in the Dominico Abenya situation, and that EC would be acting unfair to Mr. Michael Okoye, who protested and who objected and who disagreed, and EC insisted that, well, this is the right path, and you proceeded without him.
Deputy Commissioner, if you are minded, you can respond. If you are not,
there is an aspect I would like to speak to.
Mr. Chairman, Order 89.1 does not permit a supplementary question to introduce a new matter that was not contained in the original question. That is the rule. The leader must learn to play by the rules. He can't introduce Dominico Abenya into this matter. If he's minded, he should file his own question on Dominico Abenya, like I have done in respect of Ablekuma North. Then we interrogate it. But it cannot be suggesting that a wrong was done in the declaration of Dominico Abenya. It wasn't contained in the original question. The law does not permit it.
Very well. Honorable Deputy Commissioner, that's why I'm giving those. If you are mindful to respond, fine. Other than that, I'll ask the leader to file a separate question. Are you responding?
Mr. Chairman,
please.
Okay, let's.
I think what I want to say is that...
You've asked the person, please. You've asked the person. You let him respond.
Mr. Speaker, I'm concerned. Mr. Speaker, please. Mr. Speaker,
Honorable,
Mr. Speaker,
please, you listen to me.
Mr. Speaker, with respect, you didn't call the chief whip. I'm drawing your attention to a matter. You didn't call the chief whip, yet he came in to make a determination on a matter. I beg of you, Mr. Speaker, we all want to play it fair. We all want to play it fair. When a question is asked, you've asked him to answer. All right? You've asked him to answer. Let us play the rule fair. The man, he referred to Dominico.
Have you finished?
He referred to Dominico Abenya in his answer. He copiously referred to Dominico Abenya, and that is the reason why I asked Dominico Abenya in the supplementary.
Very well.
Mr. Let's play fair.
So am I not playing fair? He just got up, spoke. Yet I asked the Deputy Commissioner to respond to the question. It means he didn't hear me before speaking. So I've asked the Deputy Commissioner to go ahead and respond to you. So, Deputy Whip, please.
Speaker, with your leave, let me read Order 89.1.
Honorable
Speaker,
member.
please, bear me out. Order 89 is to the effect that as soon as the question is answered, any member, beginning with the member who asks the question, may without notice ask a supplementary question for further clarification of any matter or fact on the answer, but a supplementary question shall not introduce a matter not included in the original question.
Honorable member.
So if you stand here and say that in his answer he introduced a matter, that is an answer. The rule says you cannot introduce a matter not included in the original question.
Honorable member.
So the leader should also learn to play by the rules.
I'm sitting here trying to be fair to every side. The commissioner, in responding to the question, made reference to Dome Kwabenya. So if somebody, honorable, please allow me, please. He made reference to Dome Kwabenya. So if somebody is also asking a question and relating it to Dome Kwabenya, I think it is fair. That is why I'm asking him to respond. Honorable Deputy Commissioner, please respond.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think I made the point that the Commission would wish that both the MPP and the NDC are on board and we move. However, what is very, very important is that we need the police protection. Once we have the police protection, we proceed. So for that one is the most important thing to us. Then we do our work because per the law, we are mandated to do that. So once the police assure us that they are going to do their work, we are not so much interested in party A or party B. We just go ahead and do our work. But we would wish that all the parties are on the same page. Thank you.
Leader, please, we've come to you.
Thank you very much for coming to answer the questions. I have listened very carefully to you, and you're saying that collating the results, continuing to collate the results, has become very, very risky without police protection. And so you can only collate the results with police protection. What has made the coalition very, very risky without police protection?
Yes,
Deputy
Commissioner.
Thank you. We've always done the coalition with the police protection. So this is not a departure. That has been what we've been doing. But let me also say, in the High Court ruling which I cited, that same ruling also ordered the police to provide security to the Electoral Commission. So although the ruling was, yes, you go ahead and do your work, it also required the police to provide us with that protection. And all the coalition centers, we have police protection. Thank you.
Very well.
Thank you for sticking and staying with us through. We've been bringing you the live coverage of Dr. Bosman Asare, Deputy Commissioner of the Electoral Commission, answering questions in Parliament. Right now, though, I'll take you live to the Ghana Academy of Art and Sciences, where the 2025 occasional lecture with the theme Iniquities of Inequity in Our Santa Claus Democracy. And the speaker for today, Mr. Yao Nsakwa, former Executive Vice President, Global Markets, Unilever, and as well Chairperson, Emerita Professor Techiwa Menu.